What's going on, Obasi Posse? So today is the day before the election. If you guys haven't seen all these videos circulating on social media about prepping, we see panic buying over in Europe, and I have done several videos about a food shortage, and I've talked in my cooking videos about prepping, stuff like that. So I thought I would take you guys and show you my personal prepper pantry, things that I've collected over the course of some time. This was definitely not an overnight thing, so those of you who don't have anything prepped or prepared, it's not gonna come right at once, and if you do right at once, you'll spend thousands and thousands of dollars. So I don't recommend doing that, but you do it over time and you collect over time. I will have the Urban Prepper here on YouTube come on my channel for an interview to show you guys more about prepping. He knows more about that side, where I know more of the factual side going on in relation to current events that we are seeing in our society. So with that being said, I do have some things prepped. I am not an expert by any means, but I do have preparations for any type of event. And I will also link an Amazon list for those of you who want to buy some things on Amazon that I personally have bought. If you want those links, I have a whole prepper list where you can just go on that and see everything listed for you guys, and I think that might help you. I'm really excited to get the Urban Prepper here on this channel because I know many of you guys wanted to see more prepping videos after I posted the 2 videos about the food shortage, or the break in the food supply chain. And I also have a lot of upcoming videos regarding different things we're going to be seeing in regards to our food and how we grow food now as a society. And those videos are very, very sensitive, and they will 100% get censored. I don't see any of that information being talked on YouTube at all, so that will be strictly on my Patreon. So with that being said, some of my stuff is not organized, and it's a little bit everywhere. I have a freezer. I actually bought a second freezer because I have a normal, refrigerator with a little freezer, but it's just too small. And I don't recommend freezing everything because you never know if you'll run out of gas or a generator. So freeze drying or drying your meats and stuff like that is also essential, which is something I haven't done at all. So don't follow me in that regard. You don't want to freeze everything because who knows what can happen to your energy sources. Again, generators, stuff like that. I'll have a whole Amazon list linked here, but I thought what more appropriate time than right now before the election, when everyone seems uncertain, everyone's panic buying in Europe, everyone seems to be worried and concerned about all the unrest that we could face as a society with every single current event hitting us. It is the perfect storm. So I will show you guys what I have been preparing. Okay, so this is my spare freezer. Up here, there's a ton of alcohol, and the reason why you want to have alcohol, including lemon juice, this stuff is just literally for drinking. I haven't even opened it. I'm honestly not a drinker at all. These bottles were my dad's, and we actually, I bought him this for Christmas, and this one I think he got from someone. We're European. If you don't get alcohol or give alcohol during Christmas time or holidays, it's a big offense. So we have all this alcohol here. Alcohol is very good. I actually recommend getting those little travel size bottles, and the reason why is because there's a lot of uses for alcohol, and alcohol has many treating benefits. It's also good if you're going through a lot. It helps with the depression. Just kidding. So I actually do recommend getting a ton of different types of alcohol. Vodka is a big one. That vodka and whiskey are the main ones I suggest. This other stuff, like what is this? You don't need to get that. That was a gift for Christmas. We haven't even opened it. So just, vodka and whiskey. So this is the freezer that I have. It was like $200 off of Craigslist. And there's just a ton of different things that I've been freezing and preparing. It is by no means organized, and I need to organize it, but it was at one point organized. So on this bottom, what I like about this freezer is that every single one is a coil. But I have a ton of juices and stuff like that are frozen. These are very inexpensive, so I suggest, this shouldn't be here. I suggest getting things like that because vitamins, stuff like that, if sometimes water can get boring, you know, stuff like that. Then I have a ton of, and again, it's cranberry, apple juice, orange juice, stuff like that. These are broccoli florets. They're just frozen broccoli, frozen peppers, frozen onions, more frozen vegetables back here, and then a ton of meat. I think this is a roast. Every time I see meat on sale or reduced meat, I buy it and I throw it straight into the freezer. There's more corn, spinach, and broccoli back there. And that is how you buy inexpensive, is get reduced meat, put it in the freezer. When meat's on sale, which it was a lot during like Labor Day and stuff like that. Every time I go out, I buy butter. I freeze the butter. Butter lasts and it's really well in the freezer. You guys know I do cook a lot too. I have a giant turkey back there. You can see it. I actually bought that in April because I actually assumed that we wouldn't have Thanksgiving turkeys available during November because of a second wave. So that was bought a while ago, which is why it's buried back there. And then I actually bought recently a just turkey breast instead of a whole bird. As you can see, the rest here is a bunch of different meats. Some of the things you have to take out and make sure you like date them and stuff like that. Some of the stuff was just like, I don't know, cheap or free with some coupons and stuff, so you just grab it. These blueberries I didn't finish, so I froze them. This was from 4th of July. That was never... Edamame is a very good source of protein. I have a bunch of frozen fruit here. These were like free if you bought something, so I just bought them because pie crust, whatever. Ice cream, I don't even eat ice cream. Well, sometimes I do, but I don't even know why we have this. It hasn't even been opened, so. I freeze like, so I have a lot of stuff here. And again, you don't want to freeze everything because then you're putting all your trust in electricity and stuff like that. And if you run out of gas for your generator or stuff like that, again, there are solar power generators. I will link some good options in my Amazon cart. But for the main part, it's butter, meat, juice, vegetables, stuff like that in here. And it's chocked full. It really needs to be organized, but the majority is meat and vegetables. I have some frozen bananas that they were getting old, so I saved them. I don't like wasting food. More unopened ice cream, more meat and stuff back there. So just a bunch of stuff. A lot of stuff sometimes was free as well or on sale. So we got that. Something else that I want to mention that I did buy, and I will link it again on the Amazon cart for you guys, was a bunch of candles for light. So these came in a box of 45. They look like this. This was one of the best deals that I saw. You can get different types of sizes and amounts, but this is the one I bought. And I bought candle holders. I bought candle holders to rest them and drip the wax, but I don't know, where did I put them? All of this stuff, I also bought these. These were very cheap. I was in Walmart one day, which I never am, and I bought a bunch of these candles. And I bought these a while ago, guys, so again, I need to organize better. Oh, here they are. So I think these came in a pack of 4, and they're like the old school. You put the candle in here, and you can either set them down or carry them in case the power does go out, and they'll drip, and you can hold it. You can drip some wax, stick it in there, and there's a cup here. You can hold it, or you can set it down and it'll stay. So I will link those as well. That's always something really smart to have. So those are those. Moving right along, I have a ton of water. So they're all under the table here. This is our porch. It's pretty messy. Actually, these boxes are empty because I drink a little over a gallon of water a day. The reason I keep these boxes is because sometimes at the store they only have the jugs, and they come in jugs that look like this. And to organize them better, I keep the boxes, don't throw them out. When I buy a ton of jugs, I put them right back in the boxes so they stack nicely. I really like this water. It's alkaline and pH, so I buy a ton of it. It's always important to have a ton of water. You don't need to buy alkaline water. This is a very cheap alkaline water, and that's why I buy it. I love this water. Alkaline water, pH water is usually pretty expensive. There was a big sale on Arizona's. They were like 50 cents instead of 99 cents. Sometimes you get bored of drinking water all the time, so I just bought these in the summer and whatever. I actually never really drink them because I love water, and so there's just a ton of them. I have more in my pantry downstairs. You also want to back up if you ever have dogs or cats. Get more dog and cat food. Have food stacked away for them as well. So I have a ton of extra cat and dog food because you never know what's going to happen. I have a Rottweiler and 2 kitties, so they are all squared away. This is some of the extra cans of dog food, and these are like, I call it ghetto food. It's like really poor quality dog food. This is one of the ones I usually feed her, which are very good. It's just straight up meat. And then I got some extra little boxes of emergency cat food here for the cats. Make sure if you have cats as well, you have extra cat litter. Again, you can use sand and things. I mean, there's things you can use, but if you do have animals, make sure they're taken care of as well. So let's go down to my pride and joy, to the pantry. So this is how it looks. It's really dark. This is my basement, and it's not finished, but let me try to get some lights on. This is my laundry area. Okay, let's set this up for you guys. Okay, the lighting is a little bit poor over here. I'm in my basement and there's only like one light over there. So this is like the prepper pantry. I have a lot of stuff to show you guys, but not all of it is done. For example, I have to put like things like this, like the rice and the beans, in Mylar bags, which I'll show you what those are in a minute. And I have to, well, these are Mylar bags. I'll show you. These are Mylar bags, and you want to get a food grade bucket. And the size, you can get a bunch of different sizes. I got this size, which if you look, like it's big. It's like my entire torso. So you could fit a lot. I believe these are 5-gallon bags, but you can get so many different sizes, and you can actually cut these to fit the size that you want. And it's easier when you have food grade buckets to put them in. And you need oxygen absorbers to make sure, and you only want oxygen absorbers in certain foods. Like for example, if you put them in sugars, it'll be a bad thing because it'll get hard. But for example, these are what oxygen absorbers are. These are 2000 cc's. You can get different types of cc's. So you'll need, there's charts, and I'll explain all of this in a different video. There's charts for how many cc's you need per gallon, or what the food item is. There's all these different ratios that you need to keep in mind when storing your food to keep it for years and years. So that's what Mylar bags are for. I bought these a couple months ago, and I never actually did it yet. So I can do a video when I do that, and when I have a prepper come on my channel, he could explain more of that to you guys from an expert, because I am no expert, but I do like to prepare. So those are the Mylar bags, which you need. Those are essential. And you also want mason jars. So let me show you over here. I have some mason jars here. You always want to buy them so you can can, and you can can meats and stuff like that, and this helps with the freezer issue. I have a ton of toilet paper, paper towels, paper products. If you're a woman, make sure you have enough feminine products for an emergency, stuff like that. And this, just to give you an overview, is just a lot of different things. For emergencies. And a lot of these things were very cheap on sale, stuff that we like or drink, stuff that lasts a while. And right here, see, here's more Arizona's. Here is a 12-pound bag of pinto beans I bought at Sam's Club. And I think this is like a 25-pound bag of long grain rice. These are things that I would like to put in the Mylar bags that I was showing before. And then I buy rice pretty much every time I go grocery shopping. So I have a ton of white rice, whatever was on sale, whatever I could grab, depending on my budget for that week. Then over here, it's just more beans. And again, I want to put these in Mylar bags. I love lentils, so I get a ton of red lentils. Get what you like. Don't get things that you won't eat. Some people hate lentils, for example. So these are very, very cheap. You can go to the store and grab 10 of these and spend less than $10 easily. So this is just a bag full of different types of beans. Lentils, great source of protein and can last a long, long time if they are dried or canned. These shouldn't even be on the shelf because I want to have like a cleaning shelf and a different shelf. These are a ton of pastas. Pastas last forever. I have different, these aren't really for prepping. I wanted to try some different recipes. You guys know I cook all the time, so some of this stuff is just here. These are like 30 cents, you guys. It's not expensive. I grabbed a ton of these. It fills it up all, like there's so much pasta in here. So I grab a bunch of those every time I go. Here's more things like, you know, tin foil. You guys know that aluminum, the exports with aluminum we're barely, I don't even know if we are exporting aluminum anymore because of the tensions and stuff like that going on in China and everything. So aluminum is going to be a little bit harder to come by from what last I read. Plastic baggies, stuff like that. More pasta, mac and cheese. This is like super ghetto mac and cheese. I think I have like 20 something boxes of these. These were like, I think 20 cents each. They were so cheap, so dirt cheap. Ramen and stuff back there. Kaluski, stuff like that. More really, really cheap pasta. Up here we have applesauce, condensed and evaporated milk. Stuff like this for baking, cooking. I got apple pie filling because if the freezer goes, there are apples and stuff in there, so I just thought it was kind of a good idea. Just random cans of peaches and oranges. Tons of pumpkin. I have been using actually a lot of the pumpkin here because I love pumpkin and I eat it every day. It's very good for you. Stuff like extracts, nuts, cocoa powder, stuff like that. Canned soups. I have to buy more of these actually. For some reason, I just buy a ton of tomatoes. As you guys can see, I have, I don't know why I think that we need more tomatoes, but I actually use it a lot. Ghetto sauce. This costs like 30 cents, something like this. Very, very, very cheap. I got canned potatoes, canned carrots, canned vegetables, salsa to flavor things. Soy sauce is salt, flavors things. Tons of canned beans, different types of beans, salsa, stuff like that. Over here, baking soda. I have a ton more of this upstairs, very cheap. Baking powder, a giant brick hard thing of active dry yeast to make bread. This is very important. Tons of cornstarch, tons of biscuit mix. This is for baking for holidays. It's not really like a prepping thing. Tons of soups, soup mixes, stuff like that. Tons of stocks, tons of flavoring. This is my favorite flavoring, like bouillon. This will help flavor rice and stuff like that so you don't get bored of eating the same flavor all the time. Tons of these soup type mixes. They were on sale. I got them at one point. A ton of honey. I don't have honeybees. I love honey. I buy a ton of honey. Honey has so many benefits. Buy real honey though. Don't buy like the teddy bear crap. This is, I know this is in a teddy bear, but this comes from a local farm. They just put them in the teddy bear bottles, but if you buy big company brand teddy bear bottles of honey, it's actually just disguised corn syrup. I watched this whole documentary on honey. It's crazy, the deception. Real honey like this, raw honey, it has so many benefits. Manuka honey is very expensive, but has a ton of benefits. You want to get a lot of iodized salt. That's really good. These are like some apple juices and cranberry juices. A ton of different types of oats. I got more upstairs too. These are seal cut. Those are old fashioned. Coffee. This was a gift. Someone gave that to me. Just some extra coffee here. I'm a big coffee drinker. Coffee tea bags. If you guys haven't seen these, I keep these in my purse at all times. So you guys know how I am about my hustle juice. Gang, gang. I love coffee. So I call coffee hustle juice. If you guys didn't know, been calling that for years. And these are coffee singles. Really cool stuff. So coffee filters. I think these are just crackers, whatever. Random stuff that was on sale. A ton of, this is a giant thing of mashed potatoes. This lasts a long time. A ton of peanut butters, almond butters, just a ton of peanut butter over here. Mayonnaise, ketchup, mustards, dressings, a ton of garlic because I love garlic. It is so good. I put it on everything and it's so good for you. A lot of oils. I am needing to buy more olive oil because I've been using it. So that is that. And then over here I have a ton of flour and like baking things. So all my flours, all the sugars are in this giant bin. So there is a cornmeal in there. Just a ton of different types of, and I need to put these in a better way to storage. This isn't, I haven't finished it. This is just kind of put down here. And this is not how you want to properly store your pantry. It's not how you totally want to store your pantry, but don't take my advice on that. I'll do a separate video or a video with someone else to kind of show you guys how to properly store certain things like flour, and you want to keep your beans and rice for a really good amount of years. You want to store them properly and away from bugs. So that was the food portion of my prepping. Other things that I recommend prepping are extra medicines, extra hygiene products, extra toothpaste, toothbrushes, things like this. You want to have gasoline. You want to have things that aren't just food products. You want to have cleaning products. One of the things that I recommend is always having good amounts of detergent. And if you are you can actually make your detergent using Zote. It's very, very cheap. This is a great soap. You can use this for hand soap. You can use, make sure you have a lot of hygiene stuff and borax. I have a ton of vinegar and a ton of bleach is really important. What else? What else am I forgetting? There are so many things. And if you guys want to check out the Amazon list for other options of things you should get, I also recommend buying books like how to grow things, having seeds, having a seed stash, having silver coins, tradable things that are of value, and having books that tell you how to do things that you can't normally Google. We are so used to being in a digital society. You want to have a lot of books on hand, specifically books that help with questions that you don't typically know off the top of your head. So I recommend that. You guys know I use thrift books. That is not sponsored. I love thrift books. And I will do an updated book list as well for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will be putting out a video and doing an interview. We're gonna have the Urban Prepper come here on this channel. I know you guys are so excited, so make sure you support me on Patreon, subscribe to this channel, share it with your friends. I am not on Facebook, so if you guys can share this on Facebook, that would do a lot for me. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave comments below of things that I've missed. Again, you wanna have guns and ammunition, you wanna have knives, you wanna have all these other things. This was more kind of like my food prepper pantry. I wasn't necessarily talking about the hardware or the other things that you'll need. So just keep that in mind. I'm Mary Obasi, and I will see you guys in the next upcoming video.